Alrighty, yeah, good evening viewers, and thanks for joining us once again. Working on the turbo Centura again. As you can see, it's Sunday. I've got my Sunday's best on. Yeah, basically speaking, just plodding along with the diff on this thing again. Haven't worked on it for a few weeks because I've been busy over York Peninsula with my place over there, building a big shed. So yeah, pretty excited about all that. But yeah, as you can see on the bench here, we've just been plugging away at it. Got my lower control arms sort of just in primer for the time being, because as you can see, we've still got to do all the bushes and everything. For them ones, I think I've got the bushes. I'll just have to have another look-see and make sure I have. But like I was saying in the last video regarding this build, I have got a heap of stuff, like I was saying, in here. So yeah, I just need to work out what's what for that sort of stuff. But yeah, we have got some bits and pieces for it. I'm going to get I've cleaned up all my brake pads and everything, and all my everything for the brakes, of course. Just got them all ready for the brake shop to put back together. I'll give these a good coat of black paint in a minute, as it's a nice shiny sunny day outside for a change here in Adelaide. So yeah, so we've got our axles here at 28 spline Ford axles that we use, and I've had another couple of sets made up too. So if you guys with Centuras, if you want a set of 28 spline axles, we've got a couple of sets in stock. Got my diff here, you know, like once again I'm using these in my diff. You know, like I say, you know, what I wouldn't use in my car, I wouldn't use in yours. So you know, once again I'm using the products that I sell. So yeah, we've got our diff housing there already painted. Some retaining plates for the axles all ready to go. Set of gears there. I just got to dig out my LSD for it, give that a bit of a rebuild, a bit more of a tissy up as well. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get these into some paint, and I reckon I'll go ahead and maybe have a shot at trying to gut out all these bushes and stuff. I think I'm going to have to go and get some little wire wheels to clean all the rubber and shit out of there as well. So yeah, once again, happy days. So yeah, we'll just cruise along with it, and I'll give you a bit of an update soon. Alright, so yeah, got all my bits and pieces that I'm going to be using on the build out on the bench. We've got naturally our diff housing here all painted up. Yoke and a couple other things are in the box over there. We've got our Ford axles that we're going to be using, 28 spline backing plates. As I said on the last video, set of gears, we're going to use 323s in this. Got my LSD out, just going to go, I've only just got it out of the box that I've had it stored in. Going to go through that in a minute and tear it down and just check it all out. But I've been saving that one for quite some time for a rainy day, especially actually for this build. So yeah, really happy to have that one out of the cupboard and on the bench and ready to sort of rock and roll. As you can see, we've got a box of goodies here. So I've got my brakes all ready for the brake shop. Like I said in the last video, we've given them a coat of paint, given these drums a coat of paint also. I sort of have been contemplating doing this for quite some time, and a couple of the guys on the Centura Facebook page, I must say thank you once again to those guys who gave me this information, and you know, they're quite willing to share it as well, which is great. You know, like you know, we don't need to be holding secrets when some of this stuff's hard to get. But as you can see here, we've got a set of brake rotors. Get your pens out, guys, and paper. That is the part number for them. I've done some quick measuring. The actual overalls on everything looks really close, except for just the center spigot that needs to be turned out, as a lot of you guys who follow the Centuras, just let me get that, sort of know, you know. So I'll get a fitter and turner or somebody to turn out that center section. It works out the spigot, this is 60 mil, we need it to be to be 70 mil. So once again, really happy with that. So when I get a bit further on with that, I'll show you guys a bit more as well. But yeah, once again, that's the part number for them, and I only paid like 80 bucks each for them, so yeah, pretty happy to say the least. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get this stuff, once I get that center spigot turned out, I'll talk to a couple of my friends and see if they can do it for me. I'll update a little bit more. Oh, and I bought some new shocks as well. Thanks to the guys at Car Parts Plus up at Lonsdale. Believe it or not, had these on the shelf, not just one set but two sets. So yeah, once again, great up there, Car Parts Plus, and also this is where I bought my Rotors from. In fact, that's where I buy just about all of my stuff from. Once again, thanks to the guys up there at Car Parts Plus. Alrighty, so I'll leave it at that, and I'll get stuck into, and I will rebuild my LSD, and then I think yeah, I'll get hooking into the diff, and we'll update in a little while. Alrighty, so I've put all the rebuilt the LSD. Wasn't sort of what I thought it was, or was hoping that it was, or basically told that it was. I was told it was bought brand new and hadn't been rebuilt. Well, turns out that it had been shimmed up and machined, and so basically, yes, it had a rebuild. So tidied all that up, remachined it all, relapped it all, the cones, and reassembled it and reshimmed it all as well. So yeah, we've got some decent shims in there now, so that it's locking up nicely. Patterns come up beautiful for a dummy up. So what I'll do now, while I was sort of mucking around with, and you know, got it on the bench, literally, you know, like in front of my face sort of thing, I sort of noticed that the bushes are really quite bad in the diff itself, as you can see. I don't know how well that picks that up, but yeah, the actual bushes themselves are sort of, they're not sitting central, they're sitting offset. So, and this one's even worse again. So basically speaking, that'll be sort of rubbing, this part will be rubbing on the trailing arm, which we don't want that. So I did actually go through and check those bushes that I had, as you've seen in the other videos. Turns out, yes, these are these bushes, these are these bushes for these ones, and these are the bushes for these ones. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to strip this diff down again, plasti wrap it all, and I'm going to have a tackle at mucking these out so that I can fit the new bushes in there. So what I'll do is I'll sort of have a shot at one of them, and if I don't embarrass myself too much, well, I might sort of put the time lapse on the other one, but if not, you know, we'll just wait and see, and or I might just edit that comment out. But we'll just wait and see as to where we go with that one. So yeah, once again, I'll strip all this down, take all that out of there again, and put it on the bench, and then wrap all this up, like I said, and then yeah, muck these out and see how we go, fitting some new bushes in all this stuff, which it, you know, as you can see, it's yes, it's in dire need of it, and you know, that one there is literally non-existent, and we need to do a bit of repair on that one, as well, as some of you guys have seen in the last videos if you've been following us. All right, enough waffling on, and I'll get that stripped down and get back to you all. Okay, so as you can see, we've gutted out all the old rubber bushes out of all the control arms, and also out of the diff as well. And I have actually gone ahead and put one side in. Really stoked with how it's all coming along. You know, I didn't bother recording or taping any or doing any of that, because it took me a while, I'll be honest, to gut all these out, because I didn't burn them out. I used the old drill and little wire wheel or wire brushed type thing in the die grinder, or my little angled die grinder, to get into some of these hard to get to spots. But yeah, really happy with how they've all cleaned out. Pressed one of the control arm bushes on as well. Absolutely stoked with how relatively easy it was. Heaps of grease on the bush and everything, and yeah, in the press and slid in there quite nicely. Had a bit of bad luck with some of these. As I said to you guys, I've had these on my shelf for quite some time, and you know, as you can see, that one there's quite durable and a little bit soft still, you might say. Two of these ones in this kit are rock hard, and basically I broke the ring off it straight away as soon as I started to press it into the control arm. But once again, that was the first one that I grabbed, believe it or not, and pressed in there. So luckily I hadn't actually pressed in the other two, and you know, had to remove them. So once again, a bit of bad luck with that one, winning here with this one and winning here also with the diff. So what I'll do is get your pen and papers out, guys, because these are the part numbers. Once again, I'll try and give you as many sort of part numbers and that sort of stuff for all this sort of stuff as I can, because then, you know, you can instead of going down to a parts store or whatever, if they're, you know, not familiar with all this sort of stuff. I'm lucky I've got up at Car Parts Plus, they're really familiar with all this sort of stuff. 90% of the time they've actually got it on the shelf, believe it or not. So, you know, they're all familiar with this sort of stuff. But if you go into a parts store that they're sort of not really familiar with this sort of stuff, alrighty, so this is the part numbers for what you need. So these for the two control arms. So I'll try and get that as best as I can for you. That's those 4 bushes and inserts. And then for your lower control arms, for the front bush of that, that's your part number there for that one. Alrighty, and then starting to get low on the battery. And then for the differential ones, that is the part number for it there. So yeah, I hope that helps you guys out a bit. Once again, didn't get as much done as I thought I would get done yesterday. Took me a while, like I said, to get these cleaned out, but once again, really happy with the results. Now that they're cleaned out, all the hard work's done, and I'm starting to see, you know, a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, really happy with that. Pretty much sort of knocking little jobs off at a time. So it's all just sort of going to fall together once we're ready to put it all back in the car. So now what I'll do is I'll finish pressing this bush in, put this one in, and then I'll get stuck back into my into the diff build and put that together, do my solid pinion spacer, preload spacer for it, and then yeah, that's pretty much the diff done, and get my brakes back, and I'm literally almost ready, apart from some paint, to start putting it back in again. So yeah, really excited. Like I said, can see some light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, alrighty, enough waffle. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's D-Day, diff day. Yeah, so I've got everything pretty much. Well, as you can see, the diff is all built, come up killer, really happy with it. So, and also brakes have been all reconditioned for me, thanks again to the boys at Southern Brakes. Can't thank those guys enough, they really helped me out. Great guys up there at Southern Brakes once again, and once again also thank the guys at Car Parts Plus. I'll just get that one out of the way. So yeah, as you can see, we've got all of our lower control arms all painted and bushes in. Upper control arms, I went and got another bush kit for it. There's the part number for that, for those ones, for you guys that are sort of looking for them as well. But yeah, once again, we've got our 28 spline Ford axles in there, with the big half-inch studs on there, as you can see. Give it, you know, it'll give it that little bit of a tougher look. I can also put some EB Falcon ones, I think they are, which are shorter again, that are half-inch too. So yeah, may do that later on. I'll just wait and see what it looks like, or also whether I can fit my hubcaps too. So once again, we've also got our bits and pieces there, the drums that I'm actually not using. We've got our springs painted, tail shafts all painted up, sway bar underneath there, and panhard bar too. So once again, yeah, pretty happy, and we've got all of our bolts and nuts and all our other bits and pieces all in there, all painted and all well painted. Some are painted and some have all just been wire wheeled and cleaned and tissied up. So yeah, like I said, once again, today is D-Day, Diff Day. So yeah, we'll get this one in the car. What I might do is set up the time lapse, butt crack and fat gut warning in that. I hope I don't offend anybody. I will edit it out because it actually makes my wife piss herself laughing. So I will edit anything like that out. But yeah, once again, pretty happy with how everything's turned out. Part numbers, I did actually notice on this one, these are the shocks. Believe it or not, they're actually Toyota Corona rear shocks. There's the part numbers for you guys. Once again, we've got our drums here, part numbers once again for them ones, and also for the lower control arms part numbers there again. So yeah, cool. All right, and we're using a you know, it's nothing special. It just dresses the diff up a little bit. So I've done one of the Ford rear backing plates as well, which, like I said, once again, that just tissies them up a little bit as well. So we'll go into that a bit more, and also I'll show you it all once we get it in the car. All right, enough waffling on, and let's get into it. Alrighty, so we've got our diff in there. Pretty happy with how everything's turned out. I just stopped with the time lapse and just finished off a few things myself this morning, with the sway bar, panhard bar, shocks, and with the Toyota RAV4 drums as well. Once again, the spigot's just been turned out roughly 5 mil, from a 60 mil spigot to a 70 mil spigot. And also with this one, I've had the studs hole enlarged as well, because I'm running the big 1/2-inch Ford studs as well, naturally, with the 28 spline axles. So apart from that, if you were to put these just on your standard diff with standard axles, literally it's just a matter of turning the spigot out. So what I'll do next is I'll get the Mickey Thompson. Some people have been asking what size tyre I'm running. These are, yeah, once again, a Mickey Thompson, and we're running, I hope the camera picks that up, 26, 10.5, 15. That's in the Sportsman Pro. So what I'll be doing is getting a set of street radials or something similar to that to run on the car. But before I put on the wheels, what I'll do is a little bit of a pan around for you. finally. So yeah, pretty happy. Back on its wheels again. Pretty stoked actually. Really happy with the outcome. Really stoked with the look of the extended studs out the wheels too. Yeah, really happy with how everything's come up. The drums themselves come up a treat. Yeah, as far as fitting them, not a problem, guys. You know, if you have any issues with your drum brakes that you've got at the moment, the Toyota RAV4 ones fit a treat. Not a problem at all. Camry shockers once again fit a treat as well. Yeah, really stoked with once again how it's all come up. So yeah, we'll probably move on to the front end now, and get stuck into that. I'll at least take off the wheels and jack it up and at least check out all the brakes. I know the brakes need to be done anyway, so I'll be taking them off and whipping them up to the boys at Southern Brakes once again and getting them to sort them out for me. So I can see my battery's about to go flat, so I reckon we'll just leave it at that one. If you haven't liked and subscribed so far, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Would really appreciate that, guys. And yeah, until I'm looking at you all again next time, yeah, stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Mid Coast Diff Shop.